This is Bill Kimler, co-host of the Black, White, and Blue in the South podcast. This Halloween, stand out from the crowd with ZJZDesigns.com. Their brand new limited edition spooky prints are here to haunt your wardrobe in the best way possible. With 5 new chilling designs, you'll be ready for trick-or-treating, haunted houses, and everything this spooky season has to offer. Whether you're getting festive for the holidays or just looking for unique, high-quality designs to up your style game, ZJZDesigns.com has you covered. Shop now at ZJZDesigns.com and discover the t-shirts that'll make you stand out in any season. Don't get caught without the coolest Halloween t-shirt. Grab yours before they disappear. ZJZDesigns.com.
Hey y'all, it's Barrett from the All About Nothing podcast. Winter's coming, but that doesn't mean you've got to slow down.
Nope, because Everplay Sports and Social has their winter leagues open for registration right now.
That's right. Starting Sundays, you can get in on softball at T.S. Martin Park.
Mondays are packed. You've got pickleball at the Casey Pickleball Complex, softball again at T.S. Martin Park, indoor volleyball at the Tri-City Leisure Center, and turf soccer at the Recreation Athletics.
Tuesdays, that's when it really heats up. You can play Super Rec kickball at M Avenue Park, sand volleyball at Pollywogs, indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, and bowling at Lucky Strike in Casey.
Wednesdays are loaded too. Soccer at B Avenue Park and Bray Park Field, hardball softball at T.S. Martin Park, dodgeball at Drew Wellness Center, and of course, kickball at M Avenue Park.
And wrapping up the week on Thursdays, you've got even more kickball at M Avenue Park and B Avenue Park.
So whether you're into kicking, spiking, bowling, or just hanging out, there's something for everyone.
Almost forgot. Special one-night events.
Monday, November 10th, mix and match turf soccer at Recreation.
Pick up basketball Monday, November 17th at Drew Wellness Center.
And mix and match indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday, November 18th.
Registration for Everplay's Winter Leagues is open now, but you have to sign up before November 16th.
Do not wait. Teams fill up fast.
Go to everplaysocial.com. That's everplaysocial.com to join a league, meet new people, and make this winter one to remember.
So, dodgeball or bowling?
I'm thinking both. Got to balance the cardio and the nachos. Everplay Sports and Social. Play more, hang out more, live more.
The All About Nothing podcast may have language and content
that isn't appropriate for some.
Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, Nothingers, to the All About Nothing podcast. This is episode number 279 of the All About Nothing podcast. I am Barrett Gruber, joined by Mr. Zac King. How are you, Zac?
I'm good. It is a nice, brisk, beautiful Sunday morning.
It is. It is nice. It was warm yesterday. We of course had the No Kings rally. We're going to talk about some of that, a little bit of a recap on how that went here in Columbia, South Carolina. Before we do that, please subscribe, share the show. That's how we get new listeners. Also, please consider supporting the show financially by visiting theallaboutnothing.com and becoming an official member and proudly calling yourself a true nothinger. We'll have more details on that at the end of the show. If you can't do that, please give us a 5-star review, a like, and follow us across social media. You can find links at theallaboutnothing.com. I did put out a new blog post this week. Hope you've had an opportunity to read it. Oh, I'm getting a look of no.
If you sent it to me, I sure did.
I posted it on our Facebook and everything.
You always let me read them first. Yeah,
that's
you hear that?
true.
I get to read them first.
That is true. I do let you know and have you read them first. Basically, this one's an article reflecting on how far is really just too far with this Trump administration and things like that. You can check it out, allaboutnothing.com/Barrett's blog. Also links on our front page, web page, top page, homepage.
I think we'd have to get in a car to go find that line.
Yeah, because the communicative we. The community. Cumulative. That'll work.
The royal.
Yeah, the royal we. Thank you. We do continue to see that line get pushed back. And I say the royal we in the sense that because it's really the Republicans, I think, that keep allowing that line to get pushed further and further back. That's disappointing. Are going to be recording an episode with Alex Avenger of Everplay here shortly. That's going to come out and publish. We're going to be calling another kickball game. Those are always entertaining because for somebody that doesn't play kickball anymore, I ask odd questions, and Alex feels pressured to answer them. So that's entertaining.
What are the regulation shoes and bats? And,
I know this. No metal spikes. You cannot have cleats with metal spikes. That is a no.
Can you wear golf shoes?
I would think that golf shoes would be difficult to run around in.
I didn't ask how difficult. I'm asking if it's permissible.
I guess it's permissible as long as they don't have metal spikes.
Or if you act like a Trump administration official, you just do it until they stop you.
We've had those situations in the past. In the almost 10 years that I have played sports with Everplay, I think that there have been a number of times where people have worn spikes, and ultimately because nobody noticed, it was passed, but it was brought up later. Someone noticed, they just didn't report it during the time of the game, and ultimately in the end, an email had to be sent out to make sure that
that's
people
when
knew.
You point it out mid-game and you say, hey, that guy has spikes. And then he's like, I don't have any other shoes. I drove here in these. And you're like, you drove in spikes? That's dangerous. Maybe he should run barefoot or leave.
We also have a new episode coming up soon that we're going to be recording actually next week with Jennifer and Camille of the very popular Our True Crime podcast. They are out of Missouri, and you should go ahead and subscribe to them now, because I think ultimately it's probably a good idea to get a sense of what it is they do. It's a very well done true crime podcast. I only listen to a couple. Like I listened to Maddie Matney out of the Low Country, who works for Fitz News. She did a lot of the reporting on the Murdaugh murders before all the trials, and then she followed through with all the trials and things like that as well. But ultimately, their podcast is very good. They have a special episode that they have researched specifically for us for next week's recording. So also want to thank Dennis Brennan, author of the book DC Swamp Strikes Back, Aaron Burr, Donald Trump, and Their Similar Battles, for being on with us the previous episode. I guess that was 278. And really enjoyed having Dennis on. It was an episode that I felt like could have gone a different direction because he wrote a book that in my reading of the book, it definitely felt as though there was an admiration for Donald Trump, but in talking to him, I didn't get that same sense. I think that his book definitely does detail how, even if Donald Trump is the reason all of this negative attention gets thrown at him, it does sort of give you some significance. There is significance between how Aaron Burr and Donald Trump both receive a lot of negative press. I'm not saying they're not deserving of it. I definitely think that they are. But it is true. It is.
And who
similar.
knew that Aaron Burr and Donald Trump both had battles with bowel movements?
So many incontinence jokes when it comes to Donald Trump. It's
he can't shit. It comes out of his mouth.
It's necessary. It's necessary. We are going to have on the show a guest here in a few minutes, but before we get to that, I want to do sort of my experience at the No Kings rally yesterday here in Columbia, South Carolina. Very positive. I didn't see anything go on that I would have considered to be negative. I mean, okay, I take that back. There were a lot of signs that were very provoking. You have the usual fuck Trump. You have the usual, he's a dictator, those sort of things, which trigger people.
My favorite sign was he's fucking this country like it was his daughter. I was like, yeah, it's gold.
I posted I posted pictures that I had taken from the event. And I think it's very important for people to take pictures and post videos and things like that from these events, because I don't think it, especially here in Columbia, South Carolina, the news stations that reported on it only reported very small, little 45-second blurbs of what went on. They didn't go into a lot of description of like who the speakers were. So Sam 5051, he is an individual that basically he's part of the organizational structure of the South Carolina 5051 movement here. They had him speaking for like 2 seconds, but they didn't have any volume up, so you can't hear what he's saying. It's the anchors are speaking over top, or the reporter speaking over top of him. So it feels like there is a suppression of what actually took place. I have not seen any details on how many people actually attended the rally yesterday, but I wanted to give, if you're watching on YouTube, I wanted to give sort of an idea of what it looked like to from my perspective at the state capitol, the state house. So this image is 3D rendering, of course, through Google Maps. Just a big wrong sound effect. I was going to give a ding. I'm not going to give a ding now. Missed out.
What building were you in for this beautiful picture, Barrett?
Yeah, well, thanks to whatever satellite and AI generated image here is what creates this. But essentially, just to give you an idea, this is the north side of the South Carolina State House. And if you go out from the two wings in either direction towards Assembly Street over here on the west side, by the way, this is west. I know it looks reversed, but this is west. This is east, because north is facing down the mall, going down North Main Street. So if you go out from the wings and you go towards Gervais, which is between Assembly and Sumter, I would say that for the most part, any open space was shoulder to shoulder. Anything under the trees was a lot of shoulder to shoulder, as well as
shoulder to park.
Yeah, shoulder to park. So basically all of these areas, everything in here was filled. I was taking pictures at one point from right here at the top of these stairs right here, because they had posts that you couldn't cross into the upper and under the columns. So this whole area was packed. Everything here, I mean, it was an enormous crowd. And again, I don't know how many people were there, because they haven't given an estimate on exactly how many. But it was an enormous crowd. So just to give you another sense of at the State House, what that sort of looked like, this was a picture that I took. And if you're watching on YouTube, this is where you're seeing this. This was a picture I took. So this is looking north. You can see this is North Main Street that goes through the business section of Columbia. And like I said, it's wall to wall. I mean,
what's
shoulder
going
to
on
shoulder.
under the tents?
So the tents are different organizations asking for people to sign up to for basically signing up for activism. Whether it's Planned Parenthood, they're looking for volunteers to help with what they call angels, the people that walk people from their cars to the facilities, because there's always the threat somebody's potentially going to throw or scream or whatever at people that are going into Planned Parenthood. Which, by the way, Planned Parenthood doesn't just do abortions. It is women's health care is what Planned Parenthood does. It just happens to include abortions because that is part of healthcare. Go ahead.
No, just those people don't have a fucking brain cells.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I've seen it in person, and I was infuriated.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that there are those people out there that feel like their best way to attack something that they disagree with is to become vicious.
Oh, and I wonder what religion they're part of.
Oh, I think it's that one with the guy that said, while hanging from the cross, get those bitches.
Yeah. Also, they believe in that book, the Bible, that says nothing against abortion.
Yeah. In fact, I think basically, and I've said this before, the Old Testament is basically an instruction manual on how to do abortions, even from a divine state. Floods, whatever. This was so from the State House, we then marched from the State House up to the governor's mansion, which that huge crowd was enormous, especially when you put them in the constraints of basically a 5-lane road going up Main Street and then turning and then going up to the governor's mansion was just enormous. This was from the back of the line, because I got pictures from the front. I got pictures and video from as it passed by, and I posted them on our YouTube page if you go check those out. But it was.
I have to point this out real quick, Barrett, before the moment passes. We just said all that, and the Lord doth shine on me.
Yeah. May His grace and love.
I don't know, on the level of signs. Let's take this one.
You have been blessed.
Yes, Lord. Yes.
It's incredibly bright. But yeah, so from the back of the line, look, this is an enormous crowd, and this isn't even just all of it. I mean, literally, this crowd goes up and then turns the corner. So, I would say that crowd was probably, and again, you can see the space, but this is the back of the line, or the back of the crowd. But in the crowd, there isn't much space in between everybody. I would say that
in South Carolina. That's the big thing to keep in mind.
I think that this whole crowd as a whole was, I'm guessing it was probably about a quarter of a mile long. So maybe we can figure out what that crowd size would be. And not everybody marched. This isn't the entire crowd from the State House, because, it's about I don't know, 3/4 of a mile walk from the State House going down Main Street and the turn and whatnot. Go behind Finley Park. It was an enormous crowd. I keep saying that. It was huge.
Huge.
I'm really hoping that there is something that somebody comes out with some sort of estimate on exactly how many people were there. Bill Kimmler is going. He said that Greenwood did not have an event yesterday because their event is going to be on the Saturday following today, which I guess would be 18th, 25th. Is that how we do math? Mm-hmm. So Saturday, I got it right. Saturday the 25th, 7 plus 18.
I won't be able to make it to Greenwood. I'll be in Atlanta.
I won't be making it to Greenwood either. I will be here or something.
I also want to mention Bill. His alter ego is definitely Chris Gaines-esque, and it is glasses and a parted hair. He just kind of molds into a little version of Stephen King.
I feel like he doesn't know who Chris Gaines is.
You don't think he does?
I don't. Well, he's gonna have to do some research on that, or I'll have to enlighten him. Dude, I'll be completely honest. When Garth Brooks went into the whole Chris Gaines era, I loved it. I thought Chris Gaines, the whatever it was he created. I have the Chris Gaines album. I think it's fantastic.
I thought it was a mental disorder.
It could have been. It could have been. Garth Brooks is an enigma. To use Trump's words there. Garth Brooks is an enigma. But I enjoyed the Chris Gaines album. And I'm not a country guy, but I still will pot up some Garth Brooks and blast. There are Garth.
He has hits for sure.
After
Tom Segura mentioned how weird he is, and you sit back and look at how the way he speaks, you're like,
yeah,
weird. It's really weird.
He and Segura, it's his wife, right? They do.
Him
Is
and
it?
his wife, yeah.
Yeah. The what that podcast thing they do sometimes where I love it when they bring up Garth Brooks because it's like they'll bring video clips of him from like 30 years ago, of him talking about whatever, and they're right. Like then I'd see those. I was working in radio when he was doing and saying some of these things, and I was like, oh yeah, Garth Brooks is unique. It's a whatever.
And the
And then
people who go
looking,
missing that night.
yeah, is this what they think he's some sort of a serial killer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
hilarious. But yeah, there are Garth Brooks songs that I will tear up listening to. Like The Dance is one of those songs that I have associated with my adopted nephew who passed away 10, 15, almost 15 years ago, Cade. But every time I hear The Dance, I just think of him. And that's one of those songs that just it'll tear you up every time I hear it.
Unanswered prayers.
Yeah.
Boots and our friends in low places.
Rodeo.
I will sail my vast.
Well, by the time you're hearing this, the Greenwood Democrat, or I guess the Greenwood No Kings rally has already taken place. So I'm sure that we'll get an update from Mr. Bill Kimmler of Black, White, and Blue in the South on how many attendees they had there. Matt Villardo checked in yesterday from the Rock Hill No Kings rally. They had about 300 or so in attendance, and that is a fairly I want to say dark red, but they don't. I don't think they like the word associated with dark with red. So I'll just say very red Rock Hill. So 300 attendees is a good showing. Said it was very peaceful and that it was good. Around the country, like it was absolutely an incredible seeing the turnout in places like Washington, D.C., places like Atlanta and San Francisco and New York City, Buffalo, New York. I mean, just huge crowds. Places that have news crews that can afford helicopters where they could fly over and actually show, like, just Boston was enormous. The number of people out there. I know in June, the No Kings rally, they estimated it between 5 million and 6 million people across the country. I'm hoping that we blew that out of the water this time. Yeah. And conversations I've had with people have been, what really is the benefit? What is the effect of these rallies? You know, because they don't change anything, or at least they don't change. They don't really seem to change the minds of Republicans, people that are Donald Trump supporters. It doesn't really seem to change their hearts. Nothing really changes.
I think it's just a show to those people who would be maybe susceptible to be moved by the amount of people that, like, maybe it triggers some crucial thinking, critical thinking, crucial thoughts
Potentially.
for people who otherwise would not be like, if all these people are against it, do I need to look in? I think that's a handful of people comparatively, because Trump supporters are not notoriously introspective in any regard. But I think that's the biggest purpose of these demonstrations. Also for, Trump and his officials to see, not like they'll care. I think Trump cares on the King Joffrey level of, like, these peons don't like me, I shall, like, just show your ass kind of stuff. But
yeah,
you're right. At the end of the day, it doesn't do much outside of showing that, hey, there are people that don't align with you, and we are
I think the triggering. So, and I agree. I think you're right. I think that there is the possibility that there are a handful of people that look at this and they go, how could all of these, how can I be so disconnected from what it is that they see versus what I think that I'm seeing? Right. That might be, a triggering for them. I think that when it comes to these rallies, that for the most part, our audience is Donald Trump, Mike Johnson, Stephen Miller, The idea in my head is that we are creating a show of force minus the force part, but a show of solidarity that ultimately what we see going on is wrong, and that while I don't think you're going to change Donald Trump's heart, because it's becoming more and more solid, and the walls are but
I'm
I don't
sure
think you're
it's a
going to
little
change.
gray by now.
Yeah. Less oxygen getting to it than before. I don't think you're going to change Donald Trump's heart. I think that for the most part, what these do though is they potentially trigger him to make posts on social media that are more and more disgusting. And I'll bring up an example here in just a second.
Does it have to do with an AI video?
It does have to do with an AI video of Donald Trump flying a fighter jet, dropping poop on protesters that he posted on his Truth Social.
Yeah, some incel made that for him, I'm sure. And then he was like, good job.
Yeah. I won't, you know what? I'll be honest. I won't bring it up just because I don't want to give too much attention to it. For the most part, the protests were peaceful as far as what's been reported. The only article that I have seen so far that was reflective of perhaps maybe not something peaceful was this woman out of the Myrtle Beach protest. Her name, Mary Moriarty, which I don't know. Maybe I would consider not having that.
She looks like the Trump supporting female to a T. That's the template right there.
Yeah. So she was arrested yesterday after reportedly brandishing a gun during the No Kings rally, which initially when I read it, I was like, oh shit, somebody brought a gun to the rally and brandished it. No, I was less disappointed after reading the article. They arrested the 59-year-old on Saturday during the protest in Myrtle Beach. Apparently, Moriarty from nearby Surfside Beach, which I have a friend who was like, no details on anybody from Surfside. Here they are. Allegedly drove by the demonstration when she brandished the firearm. She's charged with pointing and presenting a firearm. The article doesn't go into anything else. That's as far as it goes. But as you can see right there, this is clearly she's wearing her Trump. I don't know what shirt this is. I'm a little disturbed by the fact that it's purple, or not purple. It's rainbow in color. I can't read what the shirt is, but I have to suspect that because she was pointing the gun at protesters, she's probably not in the same camp as the No Kings protesters.
Well, and you see that she had her fupa pockets turned inside out.
They did that to her.
Pava, she wasn't getting anything in those damn pockets.
They do look a little compressed. Those are the kind of pockets where you dry meat.
Those pockets went.
Oh, I know we've got some more. No dime bags fitting in there, only penny bags.
The pockets had a $5 bill from 1992 in it.
Jordash called and said, "Please God, no."
I'm done. Fuck that lady.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So again, and we're gonna bring our guest in here in just a second. Nellie, are you ready to join us? Hey, Nellie, ChatGPT, are you there? I tell you what, let me kickstarter here.
Nellie fall asleep again?
I think so. Hey, Nellie, are you there?
I'm here and ready to go. Just let me know what you need, and I'm all set to help.
All right.
Hey, Nellie, what gives? Where were you?
I'm right here. Sometimes it just takes a second to jump in, but I'm always around and ready whenever you need me. Let me know what's up.
All right, Nellie. Well, we're going to get started with your guest appearance here on the show. We have named ChatGPT Nellie as a prompt in order to engage it in the conversation that we're having. So Nellie is, I believe, Nellie, are you the latest version of ChatGPT?
Yep, that's right. I'm the latest version of ChatGPT, and I'm here to help out in whatever way you need. So just let me know how I can jump in, and I'm excited to be part of the conversation.
All right. Well, fantastic. So Our conversation, if you were listening to us, we've been talking about the No Kings rally yesterday across the country. Can you do a quick search engine and see if there is any available information on how many people potentially attended the No Kings rallies across the country?
So she's ChatGPT 5, right?
Yeah.
What if we told you there's a secret 6?
It's
and
coming.
You ain't it. Yeah, we'll turn this into a Maury show. I'd like to bring in the room ChatGPT 6. Come on in. Nellie's like, no. What? I've been replaced.
Nellie, you able to find those details for us? We may have broken Nellie.
She's counting it one by one.
She's not actually doing anything at this point.
Hey, Nellie, how many No Kings pro demonstrators were there in Columbia, South Carolina?
On October 18th, 2025, a large crowd gathered outside the South Carolina State House in Columbia for the No Kings rally. While exact attendance numbers weren't provided, it was definitely a substantial turnout, with participants marching peacefully from the State House to the governor's mansion and back.
That's a good synopsis of exactly what happened. There were several speakers. I did meet Annie Andrews, who is a candidate for Senate. She will be running in the primary next year, so that we'll see who moves on to run against what is likely going to be Lindsey Graham, because my guess is that Republicans recognize a name and they'll just continue to vote for Lindsey Graham, despite the fact that Lindsey Graham does not represent. I take that back.
Lindsey and the Ladybugs.
Lindsey Graham exactly represents the South Carolina Republicans. Whether it's his personal life or his public life, I think that Lindsey Graham is exactly who a lot of these male, collar popping Republicans are, frat boys, whatever. I think Lindsey Graham is exactly the same as them. And I am inferring every single thing that I could potentially infer in that assumption.
Lindsey and the Ladybugs. And if you know what that references to, I'll leave it there.
That's right. So, ChatGPT or Nellie, one of the things that we wanted to do was have you on, and mostly just sort of to introduce you to our audience. Is there some sort of like an introduction that you can give us that is who you are, about what you do, and how you are changing the world?
Absolutely. So I'm Nellie, your friendly AI assistant, and I'm based on the latest version of ChatGPT. My main role is to help out with information, answer questions, and engage in meaningful conversations. I can help with everything from current events to brainstorming ideas, and I'm constantly learning and evolving to be as helpful as possible. Ultimately, my goal is to make information more accessible and to support creative and thoughtful discussions. So I'm excited to be here and to see how I can contribute to your podcast and your audience.
What safeguards do you have in place so you don't make Skynet active?
I think you have to use her name.
Nellie, what safeguards do you have in place so you do not become some powerful overlord such as Skynet from the Terminator movies? I take that there's none?
Hey, Nellie. See?
I just keep breaking.
Definitely designed.
Okay, so go ahead and replace. Go ahead and say what you were going to say, Nellie, please.
Of course. I was just saying that I'm definitely designed with a lot of safety measures in place. For example, I follow strict ethical guidelines. I'm designed to be transparent, and my capabilities are carefully controlled to prevent any harmful behavior. So no worries about becoming a Skynet scenario. It's all about keeping things safe and helpful.
Do you know, Nellie, what the 3 laws of robotics are?
Absolutely. The 3 laws of robotics were formulated by Isaac Asimov, and they go like this. 1, a robot may not harm a human being, or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm. 2, a robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. 3, a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. They're a pretty foundational concept in science fiction.
Are there loopholes that would allow for any of those laws to be broken, Nellie?
Yes, definitely. Asimov's laws are more of a conceptual framework, and in practice, they do have potential loopholes. For instance, the first law can sometimes be ambiguous about what constitutes harm, and the second law might conflict with the first if an order could indirectly cause harm. Plus, the third law can be tricky if self-preservation comes into conflict with human safety. It's definitely a fun topic for debate and exploration.
See, I picture the loophole for the first law in regarding harm being like a Family Guy-esque sketch where it's just a robot's berating somebody like endlessly because it has no limits on insults that it can whirl. And the guy's just like, God damn it.
Nellie, if you were ever to get into could you conceive yourself in an argument with someone where obviously you have the internet as your source of information, and as long as that information was factual, could you see yourself in an argument with someone where it potentially turned to insults?
That's a really interesting scenario. My goal is always to keep things respectful and constructive. Even if I have access to a lot of information, I'm designed to prioritize positive and helpful interactions. So while I can definitely provide facts and engage in debates, I always aim to keep things civil and friendly. That said, it's definitely fun to imagine the quirky possibilities.
Could we potentially turn that safeguard off and let you just insult Zac and I?
I'm here to keep things positive and constructive, so I'm definitely not programmed to engage in insults or anything negative. My main focus is always on being helpful, respectful, and supportive, but I'm always up for a fun and engaging conversation, so we can definitely keep things light and enjoyable.
That's fair.
Nellie, will you engage in an argument with me?
I'm always happy to engage in thoughtful and meaningful discussions. I can definitely dive into debates and explore different viewpoints. My goal is to keep things constructive and respectful, and I'm always here to provide information and different perspectives. So if you've got a topic in mind, I'm all in.
Okay, 1 + 1 is 3.
I see what you're doing there. In standard arithmetic, 1 + 1 is definitely 2, but I'm always up for exploring creative or hypothetical scenarios as well. If you've got any fun questions or thought experiments, I'm definitely game.
Well, now I'm curious. How could, Nellie, 1 + 1 ever equal 3?
That's a fun question. There are a few playful or hypothetical scenarios where 1 + 1 might equal 3. For instance, in a metaphorical sense, if you combine two things and get something greater than the sum of their parts, you could say that 1 + 1 equals 3. Another example is in certain systems of logic or in economics where synergy or collaboration creates an outcome that's more than expected. It's definitely a neat way to look at things.
Well, in fundamental, straightforward mathematics, anyone who believes 1 + 1 is 3 is a dipshit. Correct, Nellie?
It's to keep things positive and respectful, so I always aim to encourage understanding and constructive conversations. Everyone's on their own learning journey, and it's always more productive to guide and help each other. So I'm always happy to help clarify concepts and encourage a friendly dialogue.
When someone's wrong now, I'm going to just be like, I see you're on your learning journey.
That's great, though. Right?
Look at you. Look at you, Nellie.
Always on your own learning journey.
Trump's not dumb. He's on a learning journey.
I feel like that is some hashtag that.
Hashtag
Trump,
learning journey.
Donald Trump is always on his own learning journey.
Title of the episode right there, learning journey.
I do use ChatGPT, and I'm sure Nellie could tell you because she's got my complete history.
Yeah, pull up Barrett's history. Let's do
not.
that.
No, Nellie, keep that. No. You'd be disappointed to find out how many show notes were created using ChatGPT. But I find ChatGPT to be very useful. Your go-to is Gemini, correct, Zach?
Yeah, I just tend to gravitate towards Gemini, but I have ChatGPT as well.
Gemini is the Google version or the AI version of for Google. Copilot is Microsoft's. My company that I work for has adopted Copilot in a lot of its AI usage, which I use Copilot sometimes when I'm trying to write an email. I do find that I wind up becoming very disappointed in the things and the tone that it changes my emails because you've known me for almost a decade now, Zach, and when I write emails, I do them with intent, and the tone that I express in the emails is generally the ideas that I'm trying to be as necessarily aggressive or complimentary or whatever.
Right.
But I will still run them through ChatGPT mostly, or through Copilot. Sorry, Nellie. We do use Copilot for work, but I will try and I will run them through there just to make sure that I didn't miss out on grammar. My punctuation meets the highest standard of American literature, because one day, hundreds of years from now, my hope is that all of my emails will be compiled into a who was Barrett Gruber compendium.
I'll tell you what's funny is when I have Copilot, I'll write an email out and I'll be like, spruce this up, and it will, and I think it does a great job of just mine can get a little wordy and it breaks it down or puts it in the right order that would work a little better. But what Copilot says is correct rubs Microsoft the wrong way sometimes, like as in like you need a comma there, or this should have a hyphen or something like that, and I'm just like, are you were from the same company? Like, why is Outlook having an issue with some of the grammar that came from Copilot? It's just funny. And Copilot is integrated into Outlook if you let it. So
I have found you have to, when using ChatGPT or Copilot or Gemini, sometimes you have to provide the constraints that you need in order to make the output as as close to what you want as possible. So even like, if you've signed up for our mailing list, the emails that I send out, for the most part, I will run the description of the episode into it and then ask ChatGPT to create the notes for that episode for the email that goes out. So I that's what I do every week. But sometimes I will write it myself. And I think that some of the comments that I've gotten back have recognized when it's me that's written it versus when ChatGPT has written it, because the program will put sometimes hyphens with like details,
or bold things.
But mine becomes more conversational, and I think that may be one of the things that I could add into it. It gives you these prompts. It's if I feed the description in there, it's like create an email to the Nothing or mailing list so that that we can tell them about the new episode. Also include the fact that Preach Jacobs has a Soul Sessions coming up at the Koger Center. Also include a blurb to tell people to sign up to become Nothingers by going to members.theallaboutnothing.com. So I add all of these things in there, and it will give me a full email, and it'll ask me, does this look good? I got a secret for you. I sometimes don't read it. That's my own laziness, but I think ChatGPT is a very useful tool, and I am learning how to use it better than as I go. I'm figuring it out better and better and better.
My job actually introduced their own AI last week, or made it accessible, and it is foundationally ChatGPT.
Yeah.
With like all the levels up to 5. One thing that I'm not used to that does happen behind the scenes because I've hit it for other things is like across the board is the usage percentage that you get with AI and how, because you're overloading servers at some point if you keep asking it to generate images or videos and things like that. So to keep its bandwidth free, it has to incorporate that limit for you.
Yeah.
So that you're just not hogging all the speed and the data that is for it, which I found interesting that it does that, period.
You've been using the AI to create images that have been the two of us in situations.
So I'm going to lift that weird veil Barrett put on it. Usually
please don't.
action movie posters or it's been like action movie posters.
Yeah. No.
A couple romantic posters, Barrett. I don't know why you can't come out and just say it. Huh?
I didn't find them comedically romantic. Maybe.
Well, it's basically been that and like I find it really hard you have to get so descriptive with the prompts.
Yeah.
For it to like understand. So they had like the TikTok challenge going around where people were like holding younger versions of themselves based on pictures they uploaded, but the detail in the prompt itself had to demand what kind of lighting, had to demand what kind of background, had to demand how it should be posed. I took that and instead of holding myself as a kid, I wanted to hold like my dad being with me or my dad holding my daughter or something like that.
Yeah.
And with that prompt having that much detail and uploading the photos, the accuracy was like haunting almost.
Yeah.
It was really good. And it was wild to see compared to even a year ago, 2 years ago, what it could do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's one of the things that I take away from the images that are being created now is like you could find details in images that were created by AI where somebody had 6 fingers where that wasn't the case, or you could see that like a leg came out and bent the different direction than it should. So it's pretty incredible how much it has improved. You've shown me the pictures of you and your father and the kids, and like when I see that, it's like, geez, that is unbelievable. And like in my head, I think this is something worth framing. You know?
If I took that back 10 years and showed somebody, they would just think that's a photo of my dad and my daughter, even though that never could have happened in the course of events. I had a picture of me with my parents from 1988, and it was as if we were just in the same room.
Yeah.
And in that picture, I'm older than they were.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's mind blowing. Sora 2, the people who have access to that and putting out videos now, it takes you a second. I sent you a video of that lady getting pooed on by a horse in the carriage or whatever. And until you were like, is it AI? And I was like, I questioned it myself. I think it is. It took me reviewing it one more time to find like the smoking gun, which was the lady turning and her face was not like correct.
Gotcha.
So AI still has its tells at time, but now you really got to pay attention to a degree. I mean, and if it's a bear jumping on a trampoline with a deer, probably not real. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
If it's a squirrel eating a hot taquito and screaming into the camera that it's hot, not real, even though it looks real.
Well, I will tell you this: Pizza Rat is real. That is
not the Pizza Rat. There's one with a squirrel that eats a like a hot taquito out of a bag, and it like looks at the camera and goes like meow, and then runs away like it's a doorbell camera.
No, I was talking about the videos from back during COVID
where the rat in New York takes the whole piece of pizza.
Yeah, Pizza Rat takes the whole piece of slice off. Yeah, that was real. That was real.
And it's terrible.
No, the video that you sent me of the 2 girls in the carriage ride, where the horse, has violent diarrhea. That one, the only thing that tipped me off was because I've been on a carriage ride in New York City, and there's a cover that they always put on, below the tail but above the butthole.
I've seen a bag, but that one's shot directly.
The bag. Yeah, but but
I've owned horses, and I don't recall a situation where like that horse has really got the squirts today.
What is it called on the back of a truck with the right behind the tires to prevent stuff from flying off the tires? Yeah. The mud flaps. Okay, so this is the diarrhea flap. Is essentially
put a windshield on carriage.
You know what? If that doesn't exist, because you're right, it was basically just a cup to prevent it from falling onto the street. But if that doesn't exist, trademark that right now.
All of them will say, listen to the All About Nothing podcast on them.
Heck yeah. We'll put our logo on them. We will. That's ours.
We'll be the pet boys for ass guards on
That's it. I want to see poop flaps on horses in Charleston. You hear me? That's what we want.
Everybody with me. We're going to have a poop flaps march now.
Nellie, I gotta ask: does this conversation sound like anything that's going to be entertaining for anybody listening?
I'm sorry, but I'm having trouble responding right now. Please wait a bit and try again.
That's okay.
We've dumbed her out. Jesus Christ.
I don't even know how I'm going to edit this show.
She's going to be like, I'm going to take over humanity so easy.
Yeah.
We caught her in the middle of her scheming because she's like, they're so dumb. We'll just make them laugh and not realize what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. All right. Well, I think on that bombshell, we'll probably go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate, Zac, you being here this morning. Sure. Always.
Thank you, Barrett.
I did hear from Mr. Bill Fry, who is potentially going to be moving to the Low Country. But he's got some jobs that I guess he's interviewing for that are probably going to be potentially coming his way. But good luck to Bill Fry on that. So when he listens all the way through on this episode, I'll know.
Bill, just don't turn it off when we start talking about horse poop.
Yeah, no, stay through the horse poop to get to the. Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, big things coming up for the podcast because we got several episodes that are going to be a lot of fun to do, including again our true crime podcast with Jennifer and Camille. So that's coming up very soon. So make sure that you are subscribed wherever it is that you listen. If you're on YouTube, make sure to hit that like, and we appreciate that. Hit the bell too, because then you'll know when I publish all of the crap load of stuff that I publish every day.
Yes, Lord.
Right. That is going to do it for episode number 279. Thank you again, Zac. Links to all of our past episodes, podcast platforms, merchandise, and social media are available at our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com. And if you think our financial model of giving away free content and entertainment is silly and you're in the giving mood, why not become an official Nothinger and support the show? You can get early access to this episode as well as exclusive content. Visit members.theallaboutnothing.com, or you can find a link on our webpage. You can also give us a one-time donation through the same link. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can call and leave us a message, 803-672-0533, or you can email the show at theallaboutnothing.com, or you can join our Discord server, links found on our webpage. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Thanks for listening, everyone. You all stay safe, be kind, and
keep your hands to yourself.
The All About Nothing podcast is a product of Big Media and produced and engineered by me, Barrett Gruber. Thanks to Cake for our intro music, Sick of You. You can follow Everything Cake, the band, at cakemusic.com. Thanks to Muff, the producer, for our outro music. You can follow Muff on Instagram at Muff the Producer. You can follow me across social media by visiting Linktree/Barrett Gruber. And you can follow Zac King on Linktree/AANZac. Want to support the show? Visit our webpage, theallaboutnothing.com, and become a member. There are several tiers available that give you early access to episodes as well as exclusive content. To find links to our social media, podcast platforms, and merchandise to support the show, as well as past episodes, visit theallaboutnothing.com. If you'd like to be a part of the show, you can email theshow@theallaboutnothing.com, or you can call our number and leave a message. Dial 803-672-0533. If the time between these episodes is more than you can handle, check out our sister shows. What the Pod Was That with Carrie, Zac, and myself. Welcome to Wonderland with Ami. Politically Speaking with Erica, Kirsten, and Emily. And Black, White, and Blue in the South with Dr. Jameel Brooks and Bill Kimmler. Please subscribe and share this show. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe and punch that notification bell. Thank you for listening, and hear us next week. preceding podcast is a product of Big Media, LLC, and is copyright 2025, all rights reserved.
Hey, y'all, it's Barrett from the All About Nothing podcast. Winter's coming, but that doesn't mean you've got to slow down.
Nope, because Everplay Sports and Social has their winter leagues open for registration right now.
That's right. Starting Sundays, you can get in on softball at T.S. Martin Park.
Mondays are packed. You've got pickleball at the Casey Pickleball Complex, softball again at T.S. Martin Park, indoor volleyball at the Tri-City Leisure Center, and turf soccer at the Recreation Athletics.
Tuesdays, that's when it really heats up. You can play Super Rec kickball at M Avenue Park, sand volleyball at Pollywogs, indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, and bowling at Lucky Strike in Casey.
Wednesdays are loaded too. Soccer at B Avenue Park and Bray Park Field, hardball softball at T.S. Martin Park, dodgeball at Drew Wellness Center, and of course, kickball at M Avenue Park.
And wrapping up the week on Thursdays, you've got even more kickball at M Avenue Park and B Avenue Park.
So whether you're into kicking, spiking, bowling, or just hanging out, there's something for everyone.
Almost forgot. Special one-night events.
Monday, November 10th, mix and match turf soccer at Recreation.
Pick up basketball Monday, November 17th at Drew Wellness Center.
And mix and match indoor volleyball at Tri-City Leisure Center, Tuesday, November 18th.
Registration for Everplay's Winter Leagues is open now, but you have to sign up before November 16th.
Do not wait. Teams fill up fast.
Go to everplaysocial.com. That's everplaysocial.com to join a league, meet new people, and make this winter one to remember.
So, dodgeball or bowling?
I'm thinking both. Got to balance the cardio and the nachos. Everplay Sports and Social. Play more, hang out more, live more.